Here now I want to discuss the back EMF because a lot question about back EMF, how I get the good back EMF to reach the attraction of the ambient. Here is the coil sample. There's a battery here and the switch here. If I release this, the back EMF you will get the back EMF after you remove this. But make sure this one must be lowest resistance as much as possible. When they invented the FET and then MOSFET and then the IGBT, the resistance of this goes down. We are talking here the best back EMF I can get. I mean, let's say the switch. I'm talking here, exactly here, the switch. If I have 1 ohms, next example, I switch it. The conduction resistance of the switch. Let's say make a 1 ohms. Let's say the spike is like that. But if I will make it 0.1 ohms, the spike will go here. But you are still not on the ambient level. But if I make 0.01 ohms, the spike will go up more than this. So if this is level 1, this is level 2, it will go level 10. More higher spike if you reach the 0.1. But the MOSFET and IGBT average is the resistance, conduction resistance average is 0.28 to 0.08 ohms. So what you're gonna do is make this is on parallel. This is the, if you have, let's say we use 0.28, make it parallel 10 of these. Then it will become 0.28 if you use the 0.28 ohms. But if you use 0.08, then it will become 0.008 ohms. So that's the technique of making the lowest resistance of this. Only MOSFET and IGBT can do that. But there is also a problem. The more you create back EMF, there is a weakest link on the IGBT and the MOSFET. Let's say this is the this is the gate. This is what I'm talking, must be the lowest resistance, the conduction between this one, we call it collector and emitter, so everybody will know it. Collector and emitter. Actually this should be base, but so here the gate is the weakest link. A spike created from the 0.28, I mean 0.08 or 0.008, the gate cannot withstand. It will puncture the gate to this become damaged, the IGBT. So you need to put a filter here. This is called filter. That it's a buffer, will protect from the spike going into this section. So I made my own after I destroyed maybe $300,000 worth of IGBT destroyed by so many experiments. Now what I have done, I made a IGBT. It's a filter IGBT. So I have that one now. That's why even it's 0.008 or more lower than that, it's not a problem. So now that's why I able to continue my research until to get what I want, kind of ambient attraction from the back EMF. So that's what happened. And this one, it's my own design, IGBT. And the good thing is I did not use the IGBT. I used the oldest design of power transistor. It's active somewhere in FET. This is the old one. The MOSFET is the second one, but it's a top secret at this time. But it's on this range, but very cheap. But I able to make it a cheap ports and able to go down to what I want to create a very high back EMF.
Ano pag nakadalawang container na si Mama?
Okay. Buksan mo na yung ano. Pwede lang isali na sa sa customer. Okay, you got my point. That's what exactly how to create a back EMF into the level of ambient to attract the ambient. So the important here is this point. The switching, it usually go to the lowest resistance. So if you will go back to Tesla, yeah, my technology is always not going far away from Tesla principle. This is we keep talking about back EMF. If you remember, Tesla have a very, very, very low resistance, and there is a capacitor here, and there is spark gap here, and there is coil here, and whether it's AC or let's say a DC. So this one will charge on this low resistance, will charge maybe 5,000 volts to 100,000 volts. If this is charged, the ionization happen here, and then this becomes shorted from the ambient. Boom. But this is very, very thick wire, pure wire, and then there is a lot of wire here. This is where the output. So don't forget, this is the thing. If you will put some resistance here, in between here, or the switching here, you can the low resistance of the coil, low inductance of the coil, impedance of the coil will no use because of this resistance. So always the main principle of getting the ambient is to short as much as possible, the lowest resistance as much as possible. So, but why Tesla? This kind of principle did not materialize, because on the time the silicon ports transistor, the transistor was invented, that's the time this is no use already, because the spike created by